What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update. 7 days to go of the transfer window. Have we signed anyone yet?
Lloris.
Yes. Come on. So, yeah, I mean, it's a sad state of affairs at the moment. 7 days to go, no signings in or out as of yet. We are expecting a lot of movement. Well, we're hoping for a lot of movement. Expecting is probably a bit too much of a strong word. But we've got a few bits and pieces to get through today. And let's start off with Dele. Dan Kilpatrick saying that while Dele is not currently close to an exit, Conte has given his squad time off until the weekend, and the midfielder has thanked some of the members of staff in the event that a transfer is arranged before he returns to the club. And the Telegraph followed on from that and say that as of today, Newcastle have opened up talks over a Dele Alli loan move, which is hopeful that that could get done before the end of the window. But apparently he said goodbye to the staff already.
So let's hope it's getting moving along, and that hopefully that should free up a space on the squad and some funds that we can get some signings in. But look, we all know that Dele needs a move. It's better for everyone. His career has stagnated over the last few years at Tottenham. So it's about time that we got to move on with this, and I think Newcastle will probably be a good place for him to kind of just be a bit freer. Hopefully they'll allow him a bit of a free role there, and he can try and get back to his best. He'll know Trippier as well from his time at Tottenham, so it could be a good move for him.
Yeah, it could be, but you know, cast your mind back a year ago, literally a year ago to the day. We're saying the same things about his move to PSG. Oh, is he going to do that loan move to PSG? Maybe a Poch can revitalise him. Ended up staying and ended up going the same way as the season went. So I'm not holding my breath here, to be honest.
Yeah, but I think we're more open to him leaving than we were last year.
Yeah. Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
We got to be. We have to be.
Even if we are more open to him leaving, it doesn't mean necessarily he's going to leave. So I'm hoping he is, but
I think he will.
I hope so, man. I hope so. Let's move on and let's talk about Tanganga now. Charlie Eccleshare says that talks between AC Milan and Tottenham are expected to continue today over a possible loan move for Tanganga. Spurs would prefer a loan with an option to buy. Milan just want a straight loan. And Dan Kilpatrick says that young defenders Joe Ronan and Tanganga are also available to leave the club, likely on loan, and their exits would free up space for Spurs to pursue a new centre-half.
From a Milan perspective, why would that be a sticking point, a loan with an option to buy or a straight loan? Because they can just not take the option.
I know.
So, like, why would that be a point of contention for Tottenham? I mean, it must be an obligation, not an option. Because
Charlie says option.
It must be an obligation, because why would it make a difference?
Otherwise,
yeah, it doesn't make sense. So that can only be the difference. I think a loan move will do him good, as I've said, but I don't want to leave ourselves short numbers, do we? So I hope we can get maybe some ins in the defensive department if we are letting him go. But a loan would do him good, I think. Or even if it was with an obligation to buy of 20 million or so, that would be a good deal, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. The guy definitely needs a consistent minutes to further his career, that's for sure. Let's move on. Dan Kilpatrick talking about Matt Doherty, saying Spurs would also listen to offers for Matt Doherty. Surprise, surprise, with Traore's arrival set to see the Irishman fall even further down the pecking order at Spurs.
Yeah, I think if Wolves aren't going to take him, I struggle to see who. I hope like someone like Burnley or Norwich can come in for him late in the window.
Fans are happy to see the back of him.
Yeah, it's very, it's not strange, but they don't want him back, clearly. So it's going to be difficult to ship him, I think. Maybe a championship side, but he won't want to move to a championship team as well. You've got to think of Doherty. He's going to, even though things haven't worked out for him, he came into the club as one of the most creative right-backs in the Premier League, statistically anyway, and in great form. So he's not going to think, oh, I'm a rubbish player. So he's not going to want to move to a championship team. He's going to at least want to move to a Premier League team. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult to get rid of him, isn't he?
Yeah, it is. But how long does he have left? I mean,
we gave him a 4-year deal.
So he's got 2 years left. Is this his second year? Yeah, 2 years left.
So 2.5 years.
At 30 years old, for a player of his stature, I mean, if no one's coming in for him, unless it's a team that he doesn't want to go to, does he stick around on the bench, even further down the pecking order? Or does he go and see the last few years of his career playing minutes?
Sorry, I don't know what's the.
I was saying if a team like you're saying that he doesn't want to go to, like a championship side or a really low Premier League side like a Burnley or something that look odds on to go down, Would he prefer to go there and see out the remainder of his career playing football, or would he like to stay at Spurs and fall even further down the pecking
I think
order?
for now he'd probably rather stay at Tottenham. When it gets to the summer, then he'll probably once he's getting literally no football, then he'll probably have to rethink. But right now, I reckon he still backs himself. He's like, yeah, I'm going to get back into this team. I'm still good enough. But he'll probably realize, okay, it's not going to work once it's the summer. Well, he's been here 18 months at the moment, and of course we can see he's not good enough. But whether he's ready to accept that he's championship level, I don't think yet.
All right, let's move on. Tariq Lamptey. This one's from Samuel Luckhurst of the Manchester Evening News, and they say Tariq Lamptey has been linked to Manchester United, but Tottenham's interest is believed to be more concrete. At 50 million asking price, I can't really see that's being true.
Obviously, I think he's a great player. I think he's a really good right back.
By the way,
Huh?
he had a really good game the other night. I can't remember who it was against.
Against Chelsea.
Chelsea, that was
Played
it.
really well against Chelsea, who sold him, obviously. Has very much Carl Walker-Peters vibes about him, in a good
What a
way.
goal from KWP the other day.
Yeah, he scored a great goal. Who I wouldn't mind him back at the moment. But I think Lamptey is a good player. I think it'll be a good signing. I think he's too expensive, so we're not going to get him. And I also think the Adama transfer kills any potential transfer of this happening in this window anyway. So maybe in the summer, if we sell Emerson, if we really believe he's not good enough, we sell Emerson, and then we can think about bringing another one in. But this January, I don't see it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let's move on to Ali Gold talking about Weston McKennie. He says Fabio Paratici remains a huge admirer of the 23-year-old USA international Weston McKennie, who he took from Juventus from Schalke in 2020. But a move this month would be difficult. And you got to remember, this guy starting pretty much every game for Juventus, performing at a good level as well for Juventus. Definitely one of their better players in recent weeks. So, yeah, I just can't see Juventus letting him go, especially as they're talking about letting Arthur go as well.
Yeah, that seems to be closer in the offing, although things have gone very quiet in that one as well. He looked like he was set for Arsenal, and all of a sudden that's gone very quiet. So, again, do I see McKennie leaving in the last days of the transfer window? This is what happens when you leave it so late. You got to ask clubs not only to sell their one of the best players, but you have to leave them enough time to find a replacement. And have we left Juventus enough time to get someone in? I mean, it's very, very difficult to see Juventus accepting that kind of situation. So this is one part of the problem, and I see it again. Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, and there's also these rumours of Bentancur leaving Juventus as well. So are they really going to sell 3 central midfielders from now until the end of the transfer
No,
window?
they won't. I've said one of them. Maybe it could be McKennie if they are selling one of them.
Yeah.
But
McKennie is the one that starts for them pretty much every game. Bentancur and Arthur. I mean, Arthur's seeing a few minutes here and there, but he hasn't been great. Bentancur's hardly seeing any minutes.
so the ones least likely to leave is McKennie then.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the last story of the update. This is about a player called Muhammad Ali Cho. Sports OP saying Tottenham are in talks over signing highly rated Angers forward who has attracted interest from a number of Premier League clubs. Sky Sports have gotten in the act as well, and they say Tottenham have been offered the chance to sign Angers striker Muhammad Ali Cho, the 18-year-old who is valued at 20 million euros. He hasn't played that much football this season. 4 games, 1 goal in the league. Last season he played 21 games without getting a goal, but he is 18 years old.
Yeah, what do you expect? Again, are we going to really sign him, and is he going to be our main backup to Harry Kane? Is that what we're expecting right now?
Only a year older than Dane Scarlett.
Exactly. So again, look. I'm sure this kid has a lot of potential. I'm sure he could. I don't know him, but at 18 years of age, I'm sure he could be the next big thing in the future. But if we're desperate to find a genuine alternative to Harry Kane, he's like, okay, sign him and loan him back. He could do that. But are we really going to bring him in now and say, okay, well, if Kane's injured, you can play backup and then the fan base are expecting him to be a player you can rely on? I don't know. I just don't see it being viable.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what they're looking at him to be, that player that Conte was talking about, we need someone on the same level as Harry Kane. That's not it. But if you want to sign him in terms of keeping him for the future, then I'm all for that. But you can't sign him as that kind of guy.
But look, if he's 18, if he was smashing them in Liga and he was like a proper talent and he's ready now to play, they would say, okay, great, okay, bring him in. He can be back up to Kane. But 19 games, 2 goals. I'm not saying that means he's terrible. I'm just saying it means he's not ready to be a first-team player at Tottenham back up to play like Harry Kane yet. Clearly, he could have all the talent in the world, but right now he's clearly not ready to make that step. So
yeah, you got 18-year-olds that are physically ready sometimes, but this guy, I mean, he's played 4 games all season, and that's for Angers. It's not even like for a top club. It's for Angers in Liga that aren't doing that great. So, I mean, if you're talking about him as a guy that's going to come into our first team, think again. He's the guy for the future.
exactly. So it's hard to get too excited about what it can mean for us right now if we're signing players of that ilk.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that is your Tottenham update today. Hopefully, we'll have more concrete news to bring to you tomorrow. The clock is ticking down on the deadline. 7 days to go, and we've still got so much business to do. We're leaving it so late yet again. I am starting to get a bit worried about what's going on here, but look, we'll just have to wait and see what happens over the next 7 days. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
Come on, you Spurs.